Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be taking a first look at Gold Mythic Ellen, who is going to be an advanced token wheel character coming to RTS. Now visually she looks really cool. I did do a little teaser on this character in the previous video. If you want to go check out that video, there is still one more character in that video that was teased that is yet to be released, but we have kind of seen the visuals on Ellen before. And she does look really cool. It's the first time we've had an Ellen in the game since her original character in the 5-star era. So it's been a long old while. And she was a really liked character back then. And the response on that original video I did and the comments I saw on Discord, and even I actually received a couple of PMs about some of the characters. And Ellen was actually kind of hyped up for a lot of people just on a character that's actually coming back. She has still got that attached pistol. We will check out those stats at the end of the video, but I did tease that before. We'll see if the stats actually remain the same. Now, she's got a shotgun on her back on the visuals, kind of cool. Like I say, I think her visuals look really nice. Tattoos on the arms. Really cool appearance on this character for sure. One of my favorites, no doubt. At level 1,440 limit break 3, she has got 37,040 attack, 29,103 defense, 22,047 HP. An elite character, of course, holding that pistol. She's going to be at the support role, a Gold Mythic, and she's going to, I think, remain a member of the Rebels Allegiance, because I think way back when she was a Rebel persona, so it kind of makes sense to me. Now, first up, we're going to check out Ellen's Adrenaline Rush, and it is called Vigorous Charge. It has got a recharge rate of 66 AP. All teammates get camouflage and heal 70% of their max HP for 2 turns. Deal 500% damage to a line of enemies, 300% damage for each Rebel Allegiance teammate. Now, this is obviously going to be great with the camouflage. It comes in before the damage comes out on her Adrenaline Rush. This means that if she does attack, say, someone with payback, none of her teammates will take any damage from that, payback character. However, she will, unless there's something else in her kit that blocks potential damage, be it like a Guardian Shield. Maybe she gets Halo or something like that, so at least she comes back. We'll have to check that out. The 70% heal for the max HP for 2 turns is really nice for all teammates. She is more of an attack team character, I would assume, as she does have high base attack stat. So maybe this is to try and combat Bite as a defense leader, because there is heavy infection on Bite, and this can potentially deal with that to a certain extent. Dealing 500% damage to a line of enemies isn't too crazy because it can't crit. She is going to be the leader, so she could be surrounded by 1535, so her attack stat could be quite high. But it will get plus 300% damage for each Rebel Allegiance teammate. I would assume that would also include herself, so it could be 800% damage, but it could be up to 2,000% deal damage to a line of enemies. I don't really think you can build a full Rebel attack team. The most standout Rebels in my head are Georgia and Crag. I think those two are both Rebels, and they're okay. So hopefully we get to see maybe 1 or 2 more Rebels come out in the future, like a free-to-play Rebel. So to promote this character as, actually a character worth picking up for a lot of people. And then maybe another promo Rebel just for another little bit of a boost. We'll have to wait and see what they decide to do there, but that could potentially be quite a heavy-hitting rush. Okay, as we start the fight, you can see we are going to be doing the Adrenaline Rush. I'm going to do it against the bottom line. They have got full bonus HP, and I will say there is an amplifier that Ellen can get in her kit that will make her do more damage based on the type of character she attacks. If you can remember the teaser for the weapon I showed in that previous video, you all know what I'm talking about. We're not going to get that amplifier right now. We will do the Adrenaline Rush. And as you can see, it just does a deal damage to a line of enemies. It's pretty much as simple as that. It can't crit, but it also can't proc any mods or any passives that, could potentially control Ellen, for instance. Now, you can see my entire team has 70% heal for 1 extra turn. The current turn plus 1 more turn. This is obviously great. I think it is going to be mainly to counter like the bite leads out there with the massive infection that they have. However, 70% HP heal for 2 turns still isn't that crazy high, if I'm honest, because I think the infection you can get out can be up to like 300, 400%. So you're going to need some other healing, or maybe this rush to go off twice. You know, you could potentially have it go off twice. It really depends on the rest of Ellen's kit and the other characters you use with her. But yeah, maybe it's just a small combat. Mainly the camouflage should be quite good. Like I said, if there's a Guardian Shield coming from someone else, or she could do this first, and then you could like rush with someone like Lily, the new Awakened character, or newer Awakened character. She'll be gaining Guardian Shields quite regularly, and that will obviously work with the camouflage here. Like I say, just another way to do things. If we look at the upgrades, you can see at grade 3 it gets an upgrade where all teammates heal for 70% of their max HP for 2 turns. At grade 5, you get another upgrade where it gets at 200% damage for each Rebel Allegiance teammate. And then at limit break 2, that upgrade will get boosted where it will do an extra 100% damage for each Rebel Allegiance teammate. So the camouflage is going to be in there from the start, and that is actually really good news. You could potentially just utilize her just for the camouflage, so maybe a little bit of decent accessibility here. You know, getting 2 copies of this character could be enough to actually just utilize effectively the Maggie-esque style of what she could bring to the table in terms of countering certain levels of counter damage or group damage. What she will get or miss out on in the rest of her kit, we'll have to wait and see, but the camouflage will be there from the start, even at a grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so on and so forth. So all the other upgrades coming in just basically boost what she can do for teammates and how much damage she's going to be doing based on teammates. So the Adrenaline Rush is okay. Like I said, it can get big amplifiers. We will check out the weapon amplifier later on in the video. And if she gets burst, like an attack burst like you saw in that last clip, it should be doing really, really nice damage. If she's surrounded by 1535s, which is very likely as she is an attack leader, again, she's going to be doing really, really good damage. So yeah, not too bad an Adrenaline Rush at all. The more rebels, the harder it hits. Now the next thing we're going to check out on Ellen is going to be the Cich Move, and it is called Rebel Assault. It has got an initial cooldown of turn 1, cooldown at 2 turns, number of uses unlimited, deals 600% damage to an enemy, plus 200% damage for each Rebel Allegiance teammate. This fighter and 2 other teammates get 100% attack down resistance for 2 turns. This is going to be nice when it comes to the damage. Again, just like the Adrenaline Rush, it is going to be amplified based on how many Rebel Allegiance teammates are in the team. Should be Ellen also included. This fighter and 2 other teammates getting 100% attack down resistance for 2 turns is nice as well. There is quite a lot of attack down that goes out, and some of it isn't initially in the fight. It can be after turn 1, so she's going to be able to get this off before those attack downs come out, which is obviously going to be good. 100% of the time it will be resisted unless that character is a control role character. But we don't have a massive amount of control role characters on defense teams. A lot of the time it's tanks, supports, and of course medics. So that obviously you're gonna guaranteed resist them unless they are of that control role. Then it's 60%, which is still not too bad. I don't think this Cich Move is too bad. Again, it's gonna work like the Rush when it comes to the deal damage. It's not gonna proc weapons. It's gonna get boosted based on how many rebels there are, and it doesn't do too bad damage. It looks like off base it would be an 800% damage hit to an enemy, rather than what her Rush is, which is a 800% damage hit to a line of enemies. See, that gets boosted more, 300% per Rebel Allegiance teammate, where this only gets boosted by 200% per Rebel Allegiance teammate. But at least the starting damage is going to be pretty much the same to the initial target. Okay, we'll start the fight again, and this time around we're going to use the signature move against the bottom line. It's going to be against Molly here. I don't expect this to do crazy amounts of damage against the character. It's a deal damage. Like I said, she's not surrounded by 1535s. Her weapon effect will not work on the actual character or signature move, by what I understand. Like I said, we'll check that out when we get on to the weapon. I'll do the signature move, and we'll do some damage, but we'll also give attack down resistance to Ellen +2. As you can see, the 2 are random. It doesn't go to a particular role first or anything like that. It's completely random. Now, obviously, when I go on to the enemy team, Sometimes some of them will do things like attack down, and now I'll resist it. So obviously that's just a little bit of a benefit there. The only guarantee is Ellen will obviously resist it. The other character, it's just completely random who it's going to go on to. But she can obviously reapply this as the fight goes on. Now, checking out the upgrades on the Cich Move, you can see at grade 2, it gets plus 200% damage to the hit. So it goes from 400% damage to a single enemy up to 600% damage to a single enemy. At grade 4, it gets an upgrade where it does 200% damage for each Rebel Allegiance teammate. So that's where it gets the conditional damage added on. And then at grade Limit Break 1, it gets an upgrade where this fighter and 2 other teammates get 100% attack down resistance for 2 turns. And at Limit Break 3, it gets the very well-known upgrade, which is -1 to starting cooldown. This is going to go against what I said about the Adrenaline Rush, where I said you could potentially get it and have quite a decent entry level with the camouflage. You do kind of need to be able to do this turn 1 to get that Adrenaline Rush off nice and quick. Obviously to utilize a bit more damage as an attack leader as well. You kind of need this to go off as early as possible. So it is a bit of a shame that this is LB3 -1 to starting cooldown. Maybe grade 5 or Limit Break 1 would have been like a nicer kind of situation, but it is what it is. You could still get that camouflage off reasonably easy. It's a 66 AP cross rush, and she can do that signature move turn 2 instead of turn 1. But obviously you want to get out as much damage turn 1 as possible, but it is the way it is. The signature move again is okay. It's not like going to be a world beater. It's kind of like the Adrenaline Rush. It's okay. Again, it's not going to proc any weapons. It's not going to proc her weapon or any defense weapons. She is 100% an attack stat character. No crit potential on her Adrenaline Rush or her signature move. Only basic attacks, so definitely not worth gearing towards any sort of crit potential. Get as much attack stat on this character as possible. Now, of course, because Ellen is going to be an advanced token wheel character, we are going to be giving away some advanced tokens. 10,000 advanced tokens to one lucky winner. And all you have to do is hit the like button on the video and leave a comment down below talking about something to do with Ellen's kit. Something you like, something you dislike, something you would have liked to see change, something you think is really good, and maybe you want to see more or more characters. Maybe it's just the fact that Ellen's come back and it's the first time you've seen Ellen come back. Maybe you've never seen her before. Anything Ellen related, in the comments down below, let me know what you think, and it will enter you into the giveaway, which will be drawn in around about 10 days time. Best of luck if you do enter. Now back to the video. Now as we move on to Ellen's mythic abilities, these are her passive skills. You can see that the first one is going to be Cunning, and this is because she is a support character. Now this isn't honestly that great for Ellen because her Adrenaline Rush and her signature move can't actually proc this. Only her basic attacks can when she's attacking, and defense team characters don't generally have on attack weapon effects, they have on defense weapon effects. So pretty much this is not going to work at all. When it comes to upgrading this, I would say definitely don't have to prioritize it at all. You're maybe going to have it proc once in like every 50 walls or something ridiculous like that. It's going to be that bad. The next passive is called Walk It Off. At the start of each turn, 100% chance one other Rebel Allegiance and one other teammate recover from all debilitating status effects. This is extremely powerful. This is stun, this is impair, this is daze, this is all the terrible things that stop you from being able to use your parts of your kit. You can't use your Adrenaline Rush, you can't use your signature move, you can't use your specialist skill, you can't use a lot of the stuff on your kit because of these debilitating status effects, but now you can. Full cleanses on debilitating to up to 2 teammates per turn is really, really powerful. Very nice indeed. Obviously, you're going to maybe run into some issues when it comes to trauma, so be careful if there is heavy trauma on a defense team. It's pretty much as simple as that. Then the next passive is called Rush Overdrive, and it is increase all Rebel Allegiance teammates' Adrenaline Rush damage by 60%. Now what's interesting about this is you might have seen her signature move didn't do as much damage as her Adrenaline Rush, even though the 800% should be the same, but it did actually do quite a bit more on the Adrenaline Rush than it did on the signature move. It can even do further more, which we'll check out later, but as you can see, this is why it was happening. But it isn't just going to happen for Ellen. She's also buffing the adrenaline rushes of other teammates, which is actually really interesting indeed, in my opinion. I think that's really, really cool. I think, you know, being able to boost like Crag's rush damage output and Georgia's damage output is like such a nice addition. And like I said, we don't know other Rebel characters that could come out in the future and actually help as well. Now, when we get the last passive, it's called Focus Now. At the start of each turn, all teammates get 40% attack for each teammate with the focus status effect for 1 turn. This potentially could mean if you're on an attack team and everybody has focus, everybody should get 200% attack off of turn 1. That is mental. That is absolutely insane. That does mean she's going to synergize extremely well with new character called Heath, because he has this inbuilt on his kit where he gives out focus quite heavily, I believe. But also there are other characters that do this too, giving out focus per turn at the beginning of the fight based on certain things proccing in their kit. I think Zhang has it happen every now and again too. I'll test this out with someone who gives it to the entire team to see if it does actually stack up and everyone's getting 40% attack for each teammate. Because that should be, like I say, a 200% attack boost. This is going to be potentially crazy. So we're going to start the fight, and as you can see, because we have Heath in the team, who has a 100% chance to give all teammates focus for 1 turn, plus 1 turn for each tough teammate, everybody on my team has a 200% attack buff. In the hands of the right character, 200% attack is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Heath synergizes so well with Ellen here, it's mad. I will say Ellen does have some parts of her kit where she will be doing focus herself, but this is guaranteed and a bit maybe longer depending on the team setup you use, because for each tough teammate it gets plus 1 turn. And if you do use the combo that I talked about before with Awakened Lily, it'll be a 2-turn focus with 200% attack buff. Still, that's pretty nice indeed. Now obviously, as I would Adrenaline Rush with Ellen, I will get boosted damage because she is a Rebel. Any other Rebel teammates would get exactly the same too. If you rush while this 200% attack buff is up, even higher damage still. Now just so we're clear as well, the characters that have the focus are giving out the attack stat to everybody. If only one character gets focus, everybody gets 40% attack. It isn't just the characters with the focus buff that get it. They're just amplifying it based on how many characters actually have that focus buff. So potentially crazy attack leader here. She's going to have a leader skill that gives attack, but this is giving such higher attack boost as well. It's absolutely nuts. Like I said, every single character on that team that has focus will just amplify that by plus 40%, up to 200% in a normal raid or war, or on a certain road maps it could be like 240%. But very interesting for sure. If we look at the upgrades on these passives, you can see at grade 1, she gets the first half of Walk It Off. At the start of each turn, 50% chance one other Rebel Allegiance and one other teammate recover from all debilitating status effects. At grade 2, she gets the first half of Cunning. When attacking or being attacked, 15% less likely to trigger enemy weapon effects and walker effects. And at grade 3, she gets the second half of Walk It Off. At the start of each turn, 50% chance one other Rebel Allegiance and one other teammate recover from all debilitating status effects, making it 100% chance to apply. Moving on to grade 4, you can see she gets the first half of Rush Overdrive. Increase all Rebel Allegiance teammates' Adrenaline Rush damage by 20%. And at grade 5, she gets the first half of Focus Now. At the start of each turn, all teammates get 20% attack for each teammate with the Focus status effect for 1 turn. So even if you only get the character to grade 5 and everyone gets Focus, that will still be an 100% attack buff for your entire team. As you move on to the limit breaks, at limit break 1, Cunning 2 comes in, making it 30% less likely to trigger enemy weapon effects and walker effects. Again, like I said, Cunning isn't great on this character. Maybe Medic would have been better because she actually has a heal on the Adrenaline Rush, but there isn't too many roles that really fit characters that do deal damage, unfortunately. And at Limit Break 2, she has Rush Overdrive 2. increase all Rebel Allegiance teammates' Adrenaline Rush damage by a further 40%, making it 60% extra Adrenaline Rush damage total. And at Limit Break 3, Focus Now 2 comes in, where at the start of each turn, all teammates get 20% attack for each teammate with the Focus status effect for 1 turn, making it 40% attack for each teammate with the Focus status effect for 1 turn, up to 200% attack buff off of turn 1 before you've even taken your signature moves, rushes, so on and so forth, for your entire team if you are going to get focus on the entire team. And like I said, the team up with Heath could be good to guarantee that. This is going to boost the damage of any character, obviously. There are some characters that maybe slightly started to fall off a little bit in terms of the damage output they're going to have. It's not going to be too much of a problem if they're in the team here with Ellen getting that 200% attack buff. Every character is going to be hitting extremely hard who is a damage dealer. The newer characters that you've been seeing in recent weeks and months are going to hit crazy, crazy numbers, honestly. Now, of course, Ellen does have a leader skill, and as an attack character, she's going to have an attack lead skill as well. When it's this red, like, visual on the leader skill, it generally means attack leader skill. All alert and strong teammates get 40% attack. All Rebel Allegiance teammates get 50% attack instead. At the start of each wave, all other teammates get focus for 3 turns. This is where it can get interesting. Like I said, with Mercer, for instance, he's not going to get the bonuses from the lead skill, but that 200% attack buff could be really good if you can get that to happen. All Rebel Allegiance teammates getting the boost up to 50% is very nice. That's going to work with Ellen, but like I said, current and potentially future Rebels will also get that buff. Now here comes the actual focus from Ellen herself. She's going to give herself effectively 160% attack buff for the first 3 turns of combat to the entire attack team. That is crazy. Imagine it just said that at the start of each wave, all teammates get 140% attack for 3 turns. That would just sound crazy. But that's what she's going to be doing in combination with that passive. Now, Ellen, of course, does have that attached pistol, which we have seen, and the visuals on it are really cool. If we see on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, we can see it in a bit better detail. Ellen's Savage Custom Pistol, it does have 40% attack, a huge bonus to AP when attacking, Tank Buster. This fighter gets 100% attack when rushing an enemy with the tank roll, and in the last slot, it has improved rush damage, increased rush damage by 20%. This is obviously great. The third slot is immense. If you target a tank roll character when you do the Adrenaline Rush, it will boost the damage so significantly. It will be absolutely crazy. When you saw me doing the Adrenaline Rush in the clips before, I targeted medics on purpose. That third slot has only ever been seen before once, and that was on Easter Eva. Yeah, this is extremely nice indeed. Love to see it back. Massive boost on that Adrenaline Rush damage. Deal damage doesn't get very many amplifiers outside of like Cutthroat on a specialist skill. Ellen's a leader, so she needed it from somewhere. That attack buff on her passives is amazing, but this is again further amazing. And like I say, the damage output on all the multipliers, so on and so forth, could be crazy for Ellen here. So this was Gold Mythic Ellen, and like I said, she is going to be coming to the game as an advanced token war character and looks to be a pretty nice attack leader, particularly that passive. That attack buff is insane. You need to team her up with the right characters to utilize that camouflage to a really high level, but that's actually really nice. Overall kit, pretty nice. Bit support role style, but I do like that for an attack character when they're in a leader. I love that, honestly. And the attack buff is crazy. Like I said, if the attack like leader skill read like it potentially actually is going to be, for instance, the 160% attack for the first 3 turns of combat to all teammates, you would think it was ludicrous. You would think it was ludicrous if it was on the leader skill. But in combination with those passives, that's exactly what it's going to do. And like I say, I think there are people running around, running riot, especially with the likes of Danny on that team, getting 160% attack boost off of turn 1, hitting that signature move with Ellen as the leader. Like I say, it could be really, really good indeed. Let me know your thoughts, though, on Ellen down in the comments. Best of luck if you enter the giveaway. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.